In the 15-ish or so years that I've been an anime fan, there's only been a handful of anime that I've rewatched all the way through. And I think that just comes down to the fact that I'm always wanting and watching something new every anime season. But the anime that I've rewatched have always been really special to me, one way or another. And today, I not only want to talk about one of my favorite anime of all time, but what is essentially also one of my favorite pieces of media. And that piece of media is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I just recently finished rewatching Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood for the third time, I think it is. And despite it being a show that came out in 2009, I can say with full certainty that it looks better than even some anime that's put out today. Not only that, but I can also wholeheartedly recommend it even now in its original format. Well, in its 2009 remake format, because even by today's standards, the animation, the voice acting, the music, they're all absolutely some of the best in the game. And I realize that I've come this far into the video already without even mentioning the fact that plot-wise, it's probably one of, if not the most consistent across the board. Like, there's obviously still some room for improvement or things that I wished would have gotten a little more development. But even then, by the end of the story, I would say that I was completely satisfied with Ed and Alphonse's journey. And that's just the main characters. Like, the side characters in Fullmetal and supporting cast are absolutely some of the best. But that's also an area where I think that Fullmetal needed to improve just a smidge. Like, I completely understand when you have 30 plus characters, it's hard to tackle all of them and give them all their own little moments. But justice for my boy, Barry the Chopper. That guy was funny. I hated it when he, well, spoilers, I guess, but I hated it when he died. That was absolutely not cool. Like, I totally get that I'm not supposed to feel bad for him because he's a serial killer. But all he wanted to do before he died a second time was chop up his own body, which was a weird plot point, but it was still funny. And that's where I think Fullmetal redeems itself, because although it lacks a little bit in supporting the side characters, the series still finds a way to make you sympathize, even for the antagonists, in a way. Without spoiling too much, in case somebody who watches this video hasn't seen Fullmetal Alchemist yet, there was at least one moment where I kind of felt bad for each of the 7 homunculi. Like, hate them if you will, but even the 7 homunculi are troubled children in their own sort of way. At its core, for me, story-wise, I think that although the whole conspiracy aspect was very interesting, I think we can also boil it down to something even smaller. Because, memes aside, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is also a story about family and the sort of contrasts that there can be between families. Because, I mean, from the very beginning, the story starts with Ed and Al trying to perform human transmutation, and that strong desire for these 2 kids to see their mother again is just one of the many examples of family and the values of family within Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. And all of the family themes within Fullmetal aren't always about, like, immediate family either. Sure, the Elrics aside, we'd have other examples of immediate family like Scar and his brother, Major Armstrong and Olivier, the homunculi and their father. But Fullmetal Alchemist also emphasizes the importance of found family. And we see that example of the found family in a number of ways. Not only within the Elrics, but also like in characters like Scar. Fullmetal Alchemist is one of those stories that I can keep going on and on about. And its themes of military occupation, genocide, philosophy, as previously mentioned, family. But what makes me really love the series is the love that Alphonse and Ed have for each other. Like, the Elrics will go through literal hell on earth for each other, and that is amazing to me. And maybe I appreciate this theme even more as an older brother, but it's a part of the series that always manages to strike a chord within me. Despite being the little brother of the series, Alphonse is my favorite character. And I think that's because of not only his pure-hearted nature, but also because of the dedication and the lengths that he will go for the people he cares about. Shoot, Al will just be kind to strangers too, and that's just the kind of person that he is. Alphonse will go through a literal hell on earth, but he will continue to be kind, and that is amazing. Overall, I will once again say that Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is one of my favorite pieces of media. And it is one that I wholeheartedly recommend anybody watches. I don't think you need to be a seasoned anime fan to appreciate the plot of Fullmetal Alchemist and the themes of Fullmetal Alchemist. But if those don't manage to strike a chord within you, then maybe the fight scenes will, because those are also pretty freaking dope. Like, these fights are 15 plus years old, and they still slap. Studio Bones really put in the work for this series, and you can tell. I hope this video inspires at least one person to watch Fullmetal Alchemist. If you've seen Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, feel free to let me know who your favorite character is. Or let me know what's your favorite fight scene, because there's plenty to pick from. Or even better yet, let me know what's your favorite track. Because openings and endings aside, this anime is full of absolute bangers. I can personally say that, in case, anybody was wondering, that Crisis in the North is my favorite track off of the OST. Thank you to everybody for tuning into this video. I hope that my ramblings on Fullmetal Alchemist made at least some sort of sense. Feel free to drop a like, leave a comment, or even better, subscribe. This has been Tiago, otherwise known as Soggy Taco, signing off. Hasta luego.